I'm Sian Larkin. I am the Manager of Design Services here at Plan First Design. I am an architect registered in South Africa, working in Auckland at Plan First, where our head office is. We specialize in architectural design, interior design, landscaping design, interior decorating, quantity surveying, and also engineering. I think at this time of the year, most of us are ready for a holiday. And what better way to celebrate that than to discuss outdoor spaces that you could make into a resort type of space in your own backyard. So let's start off by having a look at regular backyards. So the question is, how do you turn this into this? Firstly, before you even start planning anything, you need to decide what mood and feeling do you want to create. Start with that and then move on to the next principle, which would be zoning your spaces. So typically we'd go for 3 zones: a relaxation zone, a dining zone, and then also a green space zone. Especially if you've got a pool, that's a great way to just add that extra feeling of relaxation. You can also have swing chairs, anything that creates a more relaxed feel. To take it up a notch to resort style living, add cushions and throws like they've done in this image. For dining zones, you can use benches instead of chairs. That does give you a more relaxed feel. And that's actually what you're trying to create, because we all relax when we go on holidays. And if you don't have a large space, if you've only got a small space to work with, you can use a bistro type table. The green zone, even if you are living in an apartment and you've got a balcony and you haven't got a garden in which to plant tropical plants and all that, go for a vertical green garden. A question that we get asked a lot is, how do you transition between indoor and outdoor with it flowing, that it doesn't feel like a separate space? Don't drop down into a different level when you're transitioning from inside to outside. So we've got the timber on the inside, tiles on the outside, simply because it weathers a lot easier, so you don't have the maintenance issue if you've got a tile. Materials and texture, go for as much natural materials as you can: wood, stone, grass, vegetation, as in plants. In this image that we've used here, we've got the timber, the grass, and also some stone for the outdoor kitchen. But if you live in a place where you can't grow grass easily, artificial turf is quite acceptable. And if you have a look at resorts, you'll often find that there's a lot of cushions or throws over their furniture, and it's quite plush accessories that they use. It gives quite a luxurious feeling. Even soft rugs. Lighting is so often under, put all your lighting on separate switches as well, and have dimmers on them so that you can change the mood to whatever you're trying to create. Candles and lanterns also work very well. When most of us holiday, we like to go to tropical destinations where it's warm and we can, put our feet in the sand and just relax properly. So whenever you've got tropical plants, it will always give you a holiday feel. So that is the first thing. Secondly, as you reach the entrance, resorts make use of fragrance quite a lot. So they would have diffusers, in strategic places, and it'll give you specific scent. So what you can do as well to get the scent over and above using the diffusers is plant some plants that have got a scent, like frangipanis, jasmine, lavender, any of those type of plants, depending on what your climate's like. And plant them near the seating area so that you've always got that nice fragrance in your seating area. With plants as well, you can play with different heights and textures of plants. Water elements, I think that goes without saying. If you don't have a lot of space, you can even have one of these water fountains on your table. Use fish ponds, little waterfalls, anything like that that's got the sound of water running. And of course, if you've got the space and the inclination, hot tub and spa pools, keep those jets going, or the overflows going all day and all night, and you'll constantly have that sound of water. Before I go to the next slide, let's just have a look at what questions we've got coming in here. Okay, let's have a look at this one. How can small outdoor spaces feel lush and green? I would say definitely with vertical gardens. Attention to detail, but most of the hotels, especially the luxury ones, will go for one color palette. And there's always lots of cushions on the chairs, lots of throws. So it would be actually easy for you as a homeowner to change your space up. You can use your decor and your accessories to change it up. Framed views, try and use your best sight lines and statement features, fire bowls, sculptures, or statement planters. Choose what suits your lifestyle best. If you are somebody that enjoys a fire pit and you have friends around and that's where you entertain, make that your feature. If you're somebody that loves to swim and you've got kids, make the swimming pool the feature. But I think just choose one element to be the feature and then, plan the rest around that. This is a courtyard of a house. It was unused previously, and there they've gone for a more tropical, I would say South American, Mexican theme. And you can even then go for a more minimalistic, upmarket way of decorating. How can you make your indoor and outdoor space feel connected? Use large sliding doors. If you've got an opening that's quite sizable, put sliding, folding, or pocket doors in so that you can open that space up entirely. So that you're living indoor and outdoor at the same time. If you've got normal standard size, let's call it 1 meter or 1.5 meters doors, you're always going to have a disconnect between the inside and the outside. Alternatively, you could also put, if you do have, for instance, a counter space, a lot of places you get the kitchen that actually backs onto the patio area or the entertainment area. So make use of that wall that backs onto the patio and make it a big sliding window as opposed to door, because you would have your countertop. You can use the opposite side of the window for a countertop where your guests can sit, although they will be sitting on the outside and you'll be sitting on the inside. But that is a nice way to connect the inside and the outside. What is a simple way to add a calming water element to outdoor space? If you could put something where you have got running water. Still water is great, but it doesn't have the same effect. You do get very small little mobile water features that you can buy. So if you don't have a big space like a balcony, you can use that certainly. What trick makes a small balcony or patio feel larger? So if you've got greenery on one side of your balcony, this isn't the smallest balcony I've seen, but if you were to have a mirror on this side and that mirror would reflect that greenery back to you, that would definitely make it feel larger. These people are lucky enough to have a fantastic sea view, so that would already immediately make it feel bigger. But if you've got a small apartment which is in an urban setting, you could definitely use the plants, use the mirrors. I know sometimes privacy on the balcony is nice, but use the space that you've got. Have some plants on one side as well, I would say, just so that it doesn't feel as much like an urban environment as what it does a garden space. What is the simplest way to make your outdoor space feel coordinated and luxurious? I would say stick to neutral colors. A lot of the time in houses, we tend to have different things, one style of, call it glasses, a different style of coffee cups. Nevertheless, in closing, I would like to say that next week's topic, we're going to be talking about from bland to beautiful, curb appeal glow up, ways in which you can make your curb appeal of your house better, in ways that you don't need to do major renovations or alterations to your house.